Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. If you're a Gold Star family member, could you please come up with me? If you are a Gold Star family member and you're in the right spot to come up mentally, please come up. Also, if you are a United States Marine that served with Nicholas in Iraq or Afghanistan and traveled from all over the world for today, and you made it here today, can you please come up and stand with me? I need you. Gold Star family members and United States Marines who served with Nicholas in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is difficult, but I am ready.
We love you.
Exactly 7 years ago today, Lisa, Alex, Elizabeth, and Ashlyn and I were in a daze as we were being escorted by United States Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant to Dover Air Force Base in Dover, Maryland, to see our son and big brother come back to American soil, carried by 6 of his brother Marines in an American flag draped blue steel coffin. Our hopes and dreams were shattered, and our worst nightmare had come true. Nick had returned home to America, and we could barely keep standing as we leaned on each other for support. I will never forget the sight of that flag draped coffin being carried so strongly and solemnly out of the back of that giant plane and into an awaiting hearse. There were no sounds, just tears. Nick had died protecting those with whom he served. Shakespeare wrote of the bond between warriors in Henry V. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he that shed his blood with me shall be my brother. On a beautiful summer evening on July 23rd, 2009, exactly 7 years ago yesterday, I was called to the Yarmouth Police Department headquarters, where I have served as a police officer for over 38 years, and received the most horrific, gut-wrenching, and devastating news that my son had been killed during combat operations in southern Afghanistan. After composing myself the best that I could, I was driven to my home and did the most difficult thing I have ever done in my life. As a group of Marines and fellow police officers walked with me to my front door, I asked them to wait outside because it was my job to tell my family. I then looked into the glass of the front door and I saw Lisa in the kitchen cooking. My son Alex was in the dining area laughing and joking with a bunch of his friends. My twin daughters Elizabeth and Ashlyn were in the family room listening to music. The whole family was together and having fun. I could actually see my whole family at the same time, and I purposely waited for a few seconds to capture that moment. Because I knew when I opened that door, our lives would never ever be the same. That door felt like cement. Then I walked in and I broke the news. I broke their hearts, and our lives changed forever. You can try to imagine, but unless you are a fellow Gold Star family member, you can't come close. It's just unimaginable. Nick fought for the freedom of the people of Iraq and Afghanistan. He chose to make a difference in the world, and he was a true American patriot. 2 weeks prior to his death, he was able to call home from Afghanistan. His last words to his mother were, "Don't worry about me, Mom. I'm living the dream." Nick's short life was not without purpose, and he fulfilled his dream. In just 3 years of service, Corporal Exaros earned the following awards: the Meritorious Mass for Outstanding Performance, the Good Conduct Medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the National Defense Medal, the Naval Unit Citation, the Iraqi Campaign Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, the Sea Deployment Ribbon, the Combat Action Ribbon, the Purple Heart, and after he died, his unit was given the Presidential Unit Citation. These Marines right here earned the we never got a chance to give Nick that, but we give it to you, Marine. God bless you. We must never forget what our heroes have done and what their loved ones have lost. Many of them died protecting one another, but they served so that we could keep the things that we love most: God, country, and family. By remaining true to these principles, we honor the Cape Cod Fallen 14. United States Army Staff Sergeant Alicia A. Burchett of Mashpee. United States Army Private First Class Paul E. Conlon of Mashpee. United States Navy Captain Gerald F. DeConto of Sandwich. United States Army Sergeant Alexander Fuller of Barnstable. United States Army Sergeant Matthew R. Gallagher of Falmouth. United States Navy SEAL Kevin A. Houston of Barnstable. United States Marine Captain Eric A. Jones of Mashpee. United States Marine Private First Class Daniel A.C. McGuire of Mashpee. United States Army Sergeant Matthew A. Pacino of Bourne. United States Army Private First Class Clinton E. Springer II of Bourne. United States Army Sergeant Zachary D. Tellier of Falmouth. United States Army Sergeant Mark R. Vecchione of Eastham. Commander Francis T. Williams of Sandwich. And United States Marine Corporal Nicholas G. Exaros of Yarmouth. Many of these brave Cape Codders, as well as 66,000 other veterans and their families, including Nicholas, rest for eternity right across from us at our beautiful and majestic Massachusetts National Cemetery. It is a beautiful place. On the day that Nick personally met President Barack Obama and shook his hand at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, only a few months before Nick gave his life, our president spoke these words. He spoke of great sacrifices, stating in part, "Each of you has your own story, and that story is now part of the history of the United States of America, a nation that exists only because free men and women have bled for it from the beaches of Normandy to the deserts of Anbar, from the mountains of Korea to the streets of Kandahar. You teach us that the price of freedom is great. Your sacrifice should challenge all of us, every single American, to ask what we can do to be better citizens. I try each day and every day to be a better citizen. I was born and raised in the city of New Bedford, Massachusetts. I grew up in one of the poorest sections of the city, and most of my friends were poor whites, Hispanics, and African Americans. And I was given a wonderful gift at an early age to be colorblind. Please do not let the media influence you. Take time to get the facts. There are no colors, and we are all truly one race. We are the human race. We must all work together. We are Americans and all lives matter. Let's all work hard every day to lead by example and stop the violence. Please pray for our police officers, our first responders, our doctors, our nurses, and their loving families, especially the ones in Dallas, in Baton Rouge, and all across America, and right here on Cape Cod and the islands. Take a moment and think of the fallen 8 Dallas and Baton Rouge police officers who were murdered only a few weeks ago. Their brothers in blue. Police Officer Brent Thompson, Police Officer Patrick Zamarippa, Police Officer Michael Kroll, Police Officer Michael Smith, Police Officer Lorne Aherns, Police Officer Matthew Gerald, Police Officer Brad Garafola, Police Officer Montrell Jackson. We say thank you to them and the members of the motor units from all over Cape Cod and New England that are here today, the patrol forces of the Bourne, Sandwich, Barnstable, and Yarmouth Police Departments, and the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office for protecting us here today. In the simple but powerful words said a few days ago by New York City Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, we know the risk you are taking, and we say thank you to every police officer and law enforcement agent who is out there protecting us. Black, white, Latino, of every race, of every color, of every creed, of every sexual orientation. When they come to save your life, they don't ask if you're black or white. They just come to save you. We are truly the land of the free because all of the brave Americans, many of whom are here with us today, from the Vietnam War to today's war and every war in between, people are here today because they were willing to look beyond their own self-interest and comfortable lives and go to some of the most dangerous places on earth to protect our freedom. I am a proud American police officer, and we are Big Nick's ride for the Cape Cod Fallen. And we are free today because someone fought, bled, or died in our place. And we vow that as long as there are breath in our bodies, that their sacrifice will not be in vain. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they are the children of God. Amen. Keep living the dream, Nick. Izzy, please come up and honor us. Izzy Marino, Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School graduate, sister of a United States Marine.